Hey guys, I'm Becky with All Aspects Restored and Recycled in Mount Bethel, Pennsylvania, and we're continuing our series on completing our nightstand set. What we're going to do today is we're going to seal the piece with Wise Owl's solvent-free natural furniture wax. So I'm going to use the wax today, as well as Wise Owl's 1.5 millimeter round brush. They also have a fantastic new 2 millimeter palm brush that you could use as well. We asked a lot, do you have to use a brush to apply the wax? You don't. Do I prefer it? Absolutely, and I'm going to show you why. So what we're going to do is a couple of materials that we're going to need is I love these rolls of shop towels. You can get them at the hardware store. We're going to use these to remove the wax. We have our wax, and then also I'm going to use a microfiber cloth today as well. Let my paint dry and have 24 hours of cure time prior to applying a wax. So this piece has been painted, left alone for 24 hours, and then now I'm going to seal it. Before I seal it, I'm going to use the 320 grit sand block, and I'm actually going to just lightly go over it. I'm not distressing it. My purpose of doing this is, again, this is a mineral chalk paint. So within the nature of the paint, there may be a little bit of grit from, the minerals, the clay within here. So if I just lightly go over it, I'm just taking off that little top layer. I hate to even say top layer. It's really just smoothing it out so that when I apply the wax, it goes on so much smoother. So if I did want to distress this piece, now would be the time to do it. If I wanted to distress it, I could use a 220 grit block as opposed to a 320 grit block, and I would go a little bit heavier along the edges. But in this case, I'm really just going along the smooth surface and just going, very, very gently across it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush, I'm just gonna swirl it around into the wax. I love the wax because it goes on super easy, and it does really help. It maintains that matte look that we love with the mineral chalk paints. And I'm just really swirling it in. So I like the look of the wax as opposed to any kind of a high gloss or a gloss. If you do like a satin or a gloss finish, or you need even a more durable finish for maybe tabletops, Wise Owl does offer, a varnish that you can use as a finish. So I'm really just using my brush to massage it in. I do work in small areas. The wax, there's so many different waxes on the market. Theirs by far is one of my favorite just because it's so easy to use. It goes in so nicely, it goes on so nicely, and you'll see that my paint is actually changing color. So this is going back to the natural color of the paint, from before I've sanded it, and it's just bringing out like the true color of the paint. So I just massage it in really nicely, and you can see the difference of the color of what was waxed versus what wasn't. So it just helps render the true color of your piece. So after I've massaged it, all the way in, I'm just gonna go back through that area, just follow the grain. And on tabletops, make sure I get along the edge. And again, you don't need to leave it on for very long, just long enough to make sure you get it on, let it absorb in. Then I'm just gonna take off the excess. And again, what I'm using is a shop cloth. So this right here is literally just a blue shop cloth that you can get from like the True Value in the automotive section. And we're gonna go ahead and just wipe it right off here. And then these are just microfiber cloths. It's really important when you're doing the waxing that you use a lint-free cloth. And this just allows me, after I've taken the wax off, you know, massage it on, take it off, and then this, I'm just gonna go right back, up and down, and almost buff it. So you can see the shine is, just gives it a little bit of a luster. It's not, it's more than a matte, not quite a satin, but it doesn't have a high shine. So, and because we've run our sandblock very gently up and down it is so smooth to the touch. Now with wax, you should reapply it every so often. That really just depends on the use of the piece. Even if it's something that you do, you know, yearly or occasionally, it's not something that you have to do all the time. And in some cases, I have furniture in my house that's been there for years and I've never reapplied the wax. And my entryway table for one, and that gets a lot of use, and we've never reapplied it. So it really just depends on the sheen and if you feel it necessary, but it does boost up the life of the piece, and it'll give it a make it look new again if you were to reapply it yearly. All right, just to recap, we have waxed our nightstand with the solvent-free Wise Owl Clear Furniture Wax. I've removed the wax, applied it with my 1.5 round Wise Owl brush, removed it with a shop towel, and then I buffed it in with a microfiber cloth. So our piece has been sealed. And the one thing I noticed with this piece is it's got some great detail all along. So we could just stop here with our clear furniture wax. It has been sealed, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and use a dark wax to bring out some of the detail. So stay tuned for our next video on how you can use dark wax to give some dimension to some of your pieces. Thanks for watching.